Hello YouTube, welcome back to my playthrough of Men of Valor. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series. Let's continue where we left off here. The average age of a KAA killed in...
Dear Mom and Dad, Pat Hodges and I had a great time in Saigon. Since Pat speaks Vietnamese pretty well, I was able to find out a lot about the city. Did you know that Saigon is a lot bigger than Tulsa? Now we're back at base working with the Arvin Rangers I told you about last time. The South Vietnamese are putting together some joint operations with the Army against the VC. The Cong have bases just north of the city in an area they call the Iron Triangle. They used to grow a bunch of rubber and fruit trees up there, but after the French pulled out, it's mostly grown over and pretty wild. Pat and I help coordinate between the U.S. and local forces. Basically, we fly around in Hueys till we spot a base, then swoop in to raid it, round up guerrillas, and destroy their supplies. It's the only way we found to surprise them before they can run back over the border and hide. My group will usually land on the perimeter while the rest of the force hits the other side, and we round up whoever runs and roll up through the zone. I'm told that the VC always flee and there's only been a couple of firefights, but I promise I'll keep my head up. I've heard that one before. Anyway, I've got Pat to watch my back, and the Rangers are very good at what they do, so please don't worry too much. I'll write again next week. Love, Dean.
So, look at how in the letter he says, it's the only way we found to surprise them before they run back over the border and hide. That is true. And this is what the part of history that people don't really talk about, is that the North Vietnamese invaded Laos in 1958, 7 years before the U.S. got involved in the war. A lot of people talk about how America violated Laos's sovereignty, but they don't talk about how North Vietnam invaded Laos's sovereignty. Not only that, they also helped topple Laos's government and put in a puppet communist government that was friendly to Vietnam. And they also invaded parts of Cambodia, which Cambodia was a neutral country, and built the Ho Chi Minh Trail through it. So the border regions were very dangerous for Vietcong activity, because the Vietcong would attack American troops and they would run across into the Laos border, into the Cambodian border. And early on, 1965, 1966, where this is taking place, the U.S. planes and military largely did not enter Cambodia or Laos. So basically, the Vietcong were just running into Laos and Cambodia, and they would hide, and the U.S. could not pursue them. Okay, oh. Yeah, we're getting a copyright claim here.
Roger that, Hamburger 6. You're goddamn right!
Hope I don't get a copyright claim for this part here. So one quick thing, there's a loading screen page here earlier that said that the United States had dropped more bombs on Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos than they did on Germany and Japan in World War II. And that is true, but there's also some important things to note here. The U.S. fought World War II from December 1941 until September 1945. So the U.S. also fought the Vietnam War from 1965 until technically 1975. By 1973, most U.S. troops were pulled out, but technically the war ended in 1975. So the U.S. had spent 10 years in Vietnam versus close to 4 years in World War II. Now, the reason that Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia had been bombed more than Germany and Japan during World War II is because Japan got bombed more heavily than Germany. And one of the reasons for that was because Germany, for example, they had much better anti-air weapons than the Japanese. And the Germans had the best anti-air weapons of World War II. They had the flak weapons. So there was thousands of American bombers that were actually shot down before they actually managed to reach their target. So that's why Germany actually got bombed less than Vietnam during World War II, in comparison to Vietnam during the Vietnam Wars, because the Germans just had really good anti-air weapons. When it came to shooting down planes, they were really good with that. They had really good weapons for that. The North Vietnamese really had barely any good AA at the start of the war. They started getting surface-to-air missile launchers near the end of the war, but in total, around I think only 30 American planes were actually shot down over Vietnam. So there was some planes that were shot down, but the planes were faster, they were more agile than during World War II, and the North Vietnamese did not have the resources to shoot down those planes. Also, on top of that, when it came to bombing Germany and Japan during World War II, the United States knew what they were hitting. They knew where the cities were, they knew where the enemy forces were, but in the Vietnam War, largely the United States did not know where the enemy was, and because of all the thick jungles, they didn't know where the VC or the North Vietnamese were, and because they were using the Ho Chi Minh Trail and they were going through the side of Laos and basically flanking the U.S. didn't know exactly where they were, so they were dropping a bunch of random bombs all over the place in the jungles, hoping that they would hit the VC and the North Vietnamese. And a lot of innocent civilians also died in this. You had thousands of civilians that also died in these bombings. Grenade, crap, okay. God, come on.
Catching a ride out of here. Proceed to the rubber plantation and establish a blocking position. Happy hunting.
All right, let's move into the plantation. We have to set up that blocking position. This is their base of operations. We need to find and destroy their stockpiles of rice and weapons. Keep your eyes open.
Is that a trap? That's some kind of trap. There's a reason for that being on the trees.
Copy, Hammer. Heads up! Charlie's on the move! Cover fire! Let's move it, Shepard! Covering fire! Let's move it, Shepard! Yes, you know, chop ya!
Tất cả đầu hàng đi. Tụi bay không còn đường thoát nữa đâu. Tụi bay đã bị bao vây rồi. Đuổi xuống. Đứng lên đi, lên lên.
Okay, last 27 rounds. That's a picture of Ho Chi Minh, founder of North Vietnam, on the wall there. Damn, get out of the way, teammate. Okay. Damn, look at this. This is a really bad area right now.
Covering fire! Let's move it, Shepard!
destroy the weapon cache. There we go.
Red Dog 1, Anvil 2. We're still taking heavy fire from the plantation. Red Dog 1, I think they've got an AA gun down there somewhere. Find it and disable it.
Copy that, Anvil 2. We'll find it.
Oh, what is this?
Red Dog 1, Hammer God 6 is putting it down. You've got to take out that AA gun so we can get in there and grab Zeus. We're running out of time. Hotel Alpha.
Copy that, Anvil 2. Moses, we gotta knock out that aircraft running and locate Zeus. We're calling from a far from position right now. Let's Hotel Alpha.
Man, they're coming from everywhere. How many of them are there? So, notice that loading screen, how it said 97% of all people that participated in the Vietnam War were discharged under honorable conditions, and that really goes against the narrative that the majority of American soldiers were just evil, bad people. A lot of people, a lot of young people that were drafted that they had to go fight this war. They weren't murderers or anything like that, but it was the media would make it seem like every single American soldier was just some horrible, evil murderer. What's the objective? Hold on the VC until air support arrives. Okay. And if you're prone, you're so much more accurate in this game.
Seriously, fuck, man!
Oh no.
Get some ammo,
Got more M60 rounds. Okay.
Nice work, Anvil 3! You guys definitely got your shit together today. Alright, lay off those strafing legs and move it toward the church. Alright, let's move.
Get cover inside the church. Okay.
Hotel Alpha, let's go! Move your asses!
Hold on, buddy. Just hold on. I got the suit called in. We'll get you out of here. Put up rounds. Fuck 'em up. Put up rounds. Fuck 'em up.
Hang in there, buddy. You'll be okay. Stay down and cover our flanks. Those Hueys will be down for us in a second. Anvil 2, Hammer God 6, we got rocket teams in that tree line. You need to pull us out of here. Over.
Negative, Hammer God 6. We're taking heavy fire from that tree line. We've got a call into the fast movers with no known name. Just leave Chile.
Copy that. Hay pinches cabrones. You better get in here as soon as those phantoms dump their loads. Over. Fuck me running. We gotta wait on that evac. Mortars! Fuck me! We gotta pull back, man. They got a beat on us. Negative. Lay chilly. There's a call in on that tree line. Keep your heads down. Fire into that tree line. Fucking not a stop.
Oh man, I'm in really bad shape here.
We gotta get out of here. You stay here. We're dead. Stand down, you asshole. We're waiting on that name. Watch the flanks. Caray, pendejos.
Oh, here come the planes. Oh.
Let's go. Let's move it. American know-how at work.
Hammer God 6, Anvil 2. You shouldn't have any more trouble with them today. We're on our way.
Copy that, Anvil 1. Let's move out.
Dear Mom and Dad, I just wanted to send you a quick note to tell you that I'm safe and sound. We hit a pretty big guerrilla base the other day, and they decided to stay and fight for once instead of running away. They were well supplied with rocket-propelled grenade launchers and hit our chopper, forcing us to put it down. My team continued on foot and ended up saving the bacon of another downed pilot and his crew. And those guys have pulled me out of the fire enough times to have earned the payback. Some of the Arvin guys are saying that it's a good thing the VC stayed put for a fight. Most of the time, they just run for Cambodia where we're not allowed to follow and trickle back in after a couple months. We always beat them when they stay put, but it'll be a long war if we can't stop them from bugging out. I heard Jamie's at Paris Island. Tell him to write once in a while. I know Boot can be pretty tough, but he's got what it takes to get through. I'm sorry I can't be there for him, but he could at least send a postcard to say hello. Love, Dean.
Yeah, so notice what he says. We're not allowed to pursue them. And the U.S. did not enter Cambodia until 1970 with a coup, because the king at the time, King Sihanouk, he declared Cambodia as a neutral country, but Sihanouk did basically nothing to stop the Vietcong and the North Vietnamese who were using Cambodia to constantly launch attacks on U.S. troops. 142 enemies killed in this mission.
The American combat base at Khe Sanh is opened in September of 1966 to serve as a strategic keystone in the attempt to cut the Ho Chi Minh Trail and separate the guerrilla forces of the South from their North Vietnamese support. Dominating the rugged hillsides 14 miles south of the demilitarized zone, Khe Sanh controls the major east-west road in the area, as well as the Laotian border. Both sides understand the significance of this outpost, and the North Vietnamese army are keen to take it, diverting troops from the trail into prepared positions in the Khe Sanh Hills in preparation for a major offensive. The NVA preparations are discovered, mostly by luck, in the spring of 1967, and the Communists are forced to attack several months earlier than originally expected. The Marines successfully defend Khe Sanh against the premature attack, then mount an offensive of their own, designed to clear the NVA from the hills overlooking the base. The battles rage night and day, through heavy rains, as the Marines encounter heavily fortified NVA positions and use mortars, artillery, and airstrikes to pound them into mud. After weeks of fierce fighting, the Khe Sanh Hills are finally freed from NVA control. Khe Sanh is too great a prize for the NVA to let it go after a single battle, and the North Vietnamese leadership direct their forces to reassemble in the area soon after the hill fights are concluded. Within less than a year, Khe Sanh will once again be the focus of a major offensive.
Yeah, and I'll talk more about Khe Sanh on the next part, guys.
Dude.
So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys did enjoy this part. If you did, do drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day, everyone.